Hey, what's up, everyone? It's the Lemesis, your nemesis, but you can call me Lem. And welcome to Just Another Cheesehead podcast. And this can't be true. I don't believe it to be true. Please tell me it's not true. And if it is true, there's only one person you can really thank, and that's Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And to be honest with you, if we were to do this, it would be a huge mistake on our front office's part, and we would basically get the same results that we always got near the end of Aaron Rodgers' career, with far less talent at the QB position and no talent really around him to help him, to propel us to no championship. So let's get started. There is talks and articles. This is not breaking news in any way, shape, or form, that the Green Bay Packers are projected to pay Jordan Love more than Aaron Rodgers. And I find that wild. That's bugger crazy. According to, many sources, or at least according to multiple articles that are talking about it and then referencing to comments that Brian Gutekunst made in his recent press conference just a few days ago, that Jordan Love's contract projections has the Packers paying him more than Aaron Rodgers. That's at least according to Freddie Boston. So let's dive into this. The reason that I'm doing this podcast, a buddy of mine, we're both Packer fans, love him, and he sent me a screenshot of this atrocity, if this were to be true. And I was just like, bro, there's no way we're paying him like that. Like, that's silly. That makes absolutely no sense. And I started going online and taking a look, and that seems to be the case. Now, here's what Freddie says in his article. It says Jordan Love is going to get paid this offseason, which we all knew was coming, right? And the general manager, Brian Gutekunst, confirmed it in his end-of-season press conference. So here's what he had to say. He said, and quote, "I think we'll go down that road, certainly. I think that'll be important for our football team to have some stability there," said Gutekunst. Jordan and his representation, they're really good people, so we'll start towards that sometime in the next couple of months. Now, Love signed a one-year extension last offseason, according to Freddie here, and which means the Packers can't extend his deal again until May. That's why a new deal isn't imminent, but it's coming. And based on how Love played in the second half of the regular season, this is his opinion, and in the playoffs, he'll likely become one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in football. Huge mistake. And he asked the question, how much will Love get paid? Now, I want to take that question and I want to go straight to other contracts in the NFL for other starting quarterbacks. And I want to go down this road here, okay? Because I do think this is important, all right? Now, Joe Burrow looks like he's the highest paid. He's averaging roughly $55 million a year. He plays for the Bengals. He's got total guaranteed $219 million, fully guaranteed $146 million. And, he went to a Super Bowl and lost. But he at least went to a Super Bowl. He was the number one pick, went to the Super Bowl. Makes sense. I'm pretty sure he was the number one pick, but we don't need to check that. Then we have Justin Herbert, and he's 28, by the way. Joe Burrow's 28. And I'm looking at the AFC, and I'm seeing Patrick Mahomes, and I know he's the only one to beat Patrick Mahomes, really, him and Tom Brady. But, you can't stay healthy, and, I don't know. And his teams always start off really slow. So, man, I don't know. I think they paid Joe Burrow a little too early, but Joe Burrow, I think, makes sense. At least he's shown signs of being a great QB, so it's justified. Justin Herbert, I guess we're going to see what happens when Harbaugh gets a hold of him, but he's the second highest paid. He's 26, so he's, closer to getting just started. He's making $52.5 million a year. Still crazy numbers. So much for all that hate for Aaron Rodgers, right? He has $193 million totally guaranteed, $133 million fully guaranteed. How much? What could I do with that kind of money, bro? Just 1 year. If somebody just gave me 1 year of one of these dudes' contracts, boy, You set for life, man, and he gets that every year. That's insane. But I don't bring that value to any NFL franchise. So Lamar Jackson, $52 million. Jalen Hurts, $51 million per year, which I think is outrageous. I would never pay Jalen Hurts that kind of money. I don't think he's done anything to get that kind of money. But here's the difference. Joe Burrow did pretty much the same thing, go to the Super Bowl and lose. But I think Joe Burrow looked better at doing it than Jalen Hurts. But I never really believed in Jalen Hurts, so that you can call me a hater. I would not pay Jalen Hurts. Russell Wilson, he's been in the league for a long time. He's played in 2 Super Bowls. This money makes sense. I don't think highly of Russell Wilson, but $49 million makes sense. That's the going rate. I think he's done more than enough. If anybody on this list is worthy of that kind of money or close to it, I think it's Russell Wilson, because he's a Super Bowl champion, and he's been to the Super Bowl twice. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts have done absolutely nothing. Kyler Murray, $46 million a year. I don't think he's winning you a championship, so I don't understand that. Deshaun Watson, still questionable. What you doing with your off time, bro? I guess that won't become an emphasis of a conversation, moving forward. We hope, but he's getting $46 million. Then we get to the GOAT period, and Patrick Mahomes. I think he still has to do a lot more, but he's on pace to, oh my goodness. I really do think they're winning the Super Bowl next week, Sunday. And I think Mahomes gets a 3rd ring. And yeah, and my argument is simple, that like, if the reason why I would say that he's in contention, or at least in my opinion, potentially the GOAT, even though Brady has 7, we don't need to go into that, is that he's more talented than Brady. And Brady had so much help around him defensively, and he looked bad so many times, and his teams would win. And if you take away 3 field goal kicks, he doesn't have 3 Super Bowl rings. If you take away the meltdown by the Atlanta Falcons, where they were up 28-3, he doesn't have another Super Bowl ring. And then if Russell Wilson just hands the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, that's 5 Super Bowls right there. Like, he has 5 questionable Super Bowls that you can't really give credit to him at all. Did he get him in position to kick? Yes, but if Vinatieri doesn't make the kick, we don't know if we're having that conversation. So I'm just saying he's not a clear front runner, but he did win. What Patrick Mahomes is doing is not only winning Super Bowls, he's going to Super Bowls that he lost, of course, and Brady did that too, but he's doing it in style, being a 2-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, and if he just keeps winning, you tend to think he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP of this next game again. Him and Kelsey, he doesn't even have the cheetah anymore, and he's still winning. And this team is clearly not as good as the teams he's had before, so he's even doing the thing. Rodgers never had Rodgers didn't have like the number 1 tight end to ever play the game on his team, but he did have Devontae Adams. But, he wasn't Jerry Rice. But, man, and the reason why I bring up Rodgers is because, to me, if you gave Rodgers 3 Super Bowl rings, it's over. It's not even close. I don't think you even come close to saying who's your GOAT. But I think because Rodgers has less rings than like a Eli Manning, that's tough. That's tough to make the argument. But Mahomes, come on. He's not losing to Brock Purdy. Barring injury, I'm not seeing that. And I see that defense clamping down on the 49ers, and I guess we'll see. But Patrick Mahomes deserves that kind of money. He should be at the top here. And we should definitely not be talking about Jordan Love. And he's projected to make, in ballpark, around 49 to 52, 48 to 52 million per year is what we just saw. The Packers cap expert Ken Ingalls projects Love will land a deal averaging in the range of 48 to 52 million per year. He should definitely be on the low end. But even so, this would be the most egregious thing that they've ever done. You're going to make him